Every Halloween night, most of us expect cheap scares, jump masks, plastic skeletons, haunted houses that are just loud noises and sticky fake blood. All that stuff is harmless. What's truly terrifying are the things that look normal, the things that knock on your door, the voices you recognize, the footsteps that shouldn't exist. Tonight, I'll share 3 real encounters sent in by viewers just like you. Each one happened on Halloween. Each one left scars that never healed. If you're watching this alone, you might want to turn on a light, because what you're about to hear could happen in your neighborhood this year. I was 16 at the time. My mom worked night shifts at the hospital, so I was used to spending Halloween alone. She always told me to keep the lights on but never open the door unless I knew who it was. Around 9 p.m., I was curled up on the couch watching a movie when my doorbell rang. I checked the window, expecting kids in costumes. Instead, 2 adults stood there wearing reflective jackets, holding a clipboard. They didn't look festive at all. The man said they were from a Halloween home safety program, and they were going door to door checking if any children inside were alone or unsafe. They both smiled, but it looked practiced. The woman asked if I could open the door so they could just see inside real quick. The chain lock was still on, and thankfully I didn't remove it. I told them there were no kids here. The man's smile twitched. He insisted they needed to verify. He slowly pushed the door like he expected me to just let it open. Something in my stomach twisted. They didn't feel like helpers. They felt like predators. I stepped back and grabbed my phone, pretending to dial someone from the couch. The woman leaned close to the door and asked, "Are you sure there are no children here? We'd hate for anything to happen to them." Her tone wasn't kind. It felt like a warning. The door rattled suddenly, like the man was testing the lock. I hurried away from the windows. My hands were shaking as I texted my mom. She responded almost instantly. "No one does that. Lock everything. Call the police." I didn't move until I heard another knock. Then another, but from a different door. Then fingernails tapping against the window frame. They were walking around my house, checking every entry point. Their flashlights shook through the blinds. I could hear them whispering to each other, sharing a plan. I crouched behind the couch and dialed 911. The sound of a siren in the distance finally broke their confidence. I peeked through a crack in the curtain just in time to see them casually walking to a plain white van parked down the street. Not running, not scared, just annoyed that their attempt failed. Later, my mom checked in with police. That same van had been seen in 3 other neighborhoods, and children had gone missing in 2. Those people weren't checking for children. They were collecting them. I was 22 and home alone for the first time in my new house. A huge storm kept rolling through town and the power went out while I was in the shower. I wrapped myself in a towel, using my flashlight to search for candles. Then I heard a loud crash from the basement. Metal scraping. Something heavy shifting. I knew I shouldn't go check, so I called my dad. He answered right away. Before I could explain anything, he said, "Why are you calling me? I'm already inside." His voice was calm. Too calm. I froze. My dad was at work in another city until morning. I asked him what he meant. He suddenly raised his voice. "Naomi, hide. That's not me in the house." My phone beeped a warning. 1% battery. The basement door creaked. I bolted into the bathroom and locked it. I tried to stay silent, but my breath was shaking too much. Something walked up the stairs and stopped right outside the door. Slow breathing through the crack under the door. Then a soft knock. A voice spoke. It sounded exactly like my dad. "Sweetheart, why are you hiding? Open the door. I don't want you to be scared." I slid to the corner, gripping a straightener like a weapon. The voice kept talking, trying to sound comforting. The doorknob twitched, scratched. A low whisper pressed against the wood. "Let me see you." My battery finally died. No more calls. Sirens arrived minutes later. I heard the intruder sprint toward the basement again. Windows breaking. Police storming through. They never caught him. When my real father arrived, the police explained something horrifying. The intruder had a mask in his backpack. A silicone face mask. Made from a mold. A mold that looked exactly like my dad. Someone had been watching my family long enough to recreate his face perfectly. Waiting for a night when everyone lets their guard down. Waiting for Halloween. Where I live, there's a Halloween legend. If someone knocks exactly twice on your door late at night, you must check the peephole. Not doing so is like an invitation. Something about Pumpkin Man marking your house. Most people joke about it. I did too. That night, I was home alone playing games. There weren't many trick-or-treaters left, so I ignored the door when it started. 2 knocks. Then silence. I figured it was some teens messing around. Then I heard it again. 2 knocks. This time a little louder. I messaged my friend, joking that Pumpkin Man was real. He sent laughing emojis and told me to check the peephole. I didn't. Not because I was scared. I just didn't want to encourage some prank. Then the footsteps started. Not outside. Right above me. In the attic. Slow. Heavy. Dragging. I muted everything and listened. Something brushed against the ceiling vent. Then a voice slid through, quiet and raspy, almost playful. Don't be rude. Just look. I felt my heartbeat in my teeth. I grabbed a baseball bat and called my neighbor to come over. He told me to stay locked inside and wait. When he arrived, we went around the house using his flashlight. There were footprints in the mud under my window. Bare feet. Not small. Not large. They trailed from my place across the yard to his backyard. That's where they stopped. His younger brother had been trick-or-treating earlier. He never made it home. His costume was found on the ground. The candy spilled everywhere. The grass looked flattened, like someone had knelt there for a long time. No footsteps leading away. No direction of escape. Just 2 muddy prints. Stamped side by side. Like someone was still standing there, waiting to be noticed. That night, I learned the legend wasn't about a knock. It was a warning. Pumpkin Man always comes inside. Halloween is supposed to be a night of fun. Candy. Scares that don't matter the next morning. The truth is much darker. Real monsters don't roar or grow fangs. They smile. They talk like someone you trust. They know exactly when you're most vulnerable. If a stranger knocks tonight, think twice before opening that door. And if you hear 2 knocks, maybe don't look through the peephole at all. Thank you for listening. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next nightmare.